We take you live now to the FNB Stadium in Johannesburg, where the ANC is holding its Siyanqoba rally today. Our reporter Juniour Khumalo joins us now live from there. Juniour, I mean, a lot of the interest today is going to be seeing how these political parties are able to fill these very large stadiums. How's it looking for the ANC so far?
Indeed, Naledi, a lot of attention is going to be on whether the ANC and the EFF in Mdumiseni are going to be able to fill up these stadiums. I'll just step out of shot and allow my colleague just to show you the numbers that have trickled into the FNB Stadium. As you can see on our right, the ANC's Women's League has already come in, and in their numbers, they are still pouring into the stadium. That is one positive for the ANC going into these elections. As you might know, leading up to the 2019 elections, the ANC's leagues did not have proper leadership. When it comes to the Veterans League, when it comes to the Youth League, they didn't have proper leadership in place. But this time around, the ANC has managed to elect the proper leadership. They are already in place, and they are trying to fill up the stadium. But let's bring in the ANC's head of elections, Mdumiseni Ntuli. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. The ANC today is hosting its Siyanqoba rally. What type of machinery has the ANC had to put in place to ensure that a lot of people come into the stadium today?
Well, thank you very much. Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers at home. Look, the greatest asset of the African National Congress is its membership, the leadership, and our volunteers on the ground. I think the campaign we've waged for these elections will go down in history as one of the very successful election campaigns that the ANC has managed to lead in an environment where there was a profound negativity, which was coming from the various sectors in society, including those who are responsible for the research and all those details. But the ANC emerged in a way that I think many people were not expecting it to be so decisive and be very courageous in terms of how we led our campaign on the ground.
Indeed, there has been speculation that the ANC, especially from polls, that it's going to drop below 50%. How has the introduction of former leaders such as Mahlengi Bhengu-Motsiri, Thabo Mbeki, David Mabuza boosted the ANC's campaign leading up to the Siyanqoba rally and the elections next week?
Well, it was part of the overall strategic intervention of the organization. We understood when we determined our strategy early last year, part of what we decided was that in the last 40 days to the election day, we're going to change the gear. And changing the gear will include, among others, getting some of our leaders who are no longer occupying offices in the movement coming in to join the campaign, which, as I'm saying, is something that has been unprecedented. I think the last time where we had all our leaders, literally all our leaders on the ground, in front, being led by the president of the organization at the time, President Cyril Ramaphosa, was, I believe, in 2004, when President Thabo Mbeki led the campaign in which really all our leaders from all walks of life, from the Alliance, from the ANC, current and former stalwarts of our movement, everybody standing up and say, this is a moment in which we have to defend not just the African National Congress, but to defend our own freedom, the hard-won freedom of our people and with the people of South Africa. So the campaign, we knew that the last 40 days of the campaign, which is what we call the 40 days battle plan, we knew that that is where the ANC is going to be emerging alone and without anybody with the capacity to contest what we're doing on the ground.
Speaking about unprecedented, the ANC's leagues as well, the Youth League, the Veterans League, when you were going into the 2019 elections, there wasn't a proper structure in place. This time around, there's been an election of a proper leadership. How has that boosted the ANC's chances?
You are quite correct. I think for the first time after probably 10 years or so, where we've been without with a leadership, elected leadership of the ANC Youth League, the leadership of the ANC Women's League, but also a number of our regional executive committees, including the Western Cape Provincial Executive Committee, was not there when we prepared for the last two elections. So we went into this election with a much more organized African National Congress, structures in place, because the basic that you need to drive the campaign on the ground is the leadership of the organization. Once you have an elected leadership of the organization, you then have the primary machinery, which must engage in the coordination, marshalling and directing our volunteers on the ground towards the victory of the African National Congress. That is why I'm saying we are better organized in these elections than any other moment in time, in terms of our own structures, our machinery, and in terms of how I think the movement generally and the population has responded to the imperative to defend our freedom and to ensure that we retain into power the only organization that has both the experience and knowledge of this journey of the past 30 years and understand and have accumulated knowledge that would help us to depart from where we are to the next 30 years.
Thank you so much. That is the ANC's head of elections, Mdumiseni Ntuli, just talking about how the ANC is better organized coming into these elections. But he's not the only one, actually, who is very confident of an ANC victory. Earlier on, we did speak to the ANC spokesperson, Mahlengi Bhengu-Motsiri, and this is what she had to say about these looming elections.
We are certainly confident. We are smelling victory. We're smelling it. It's in the air. Our campaign has been very strong and robust. We have spoken to our people, we've engaged with our people, we have reconnected with our people, including those that were not reconnecting with the African National Congress and the message of the ANC. We've had a lot of that going on, and so we are confident that our campaign has been humble and yet extremely robust and bullish.
Well, that was a spokesperson for the African National Congress speaking to our reporter, Juniour Khumalo, earlier. Juniour, of course, is at the FNB Stadium in Soweto at the Siyanqoba rally for the African National Congress. They're going to aim to fill the 90,000 capacity stadium in the FNB, while the EFF tries to fill a 35,000 people capacity stadium in Polokwane.